Welcome to Two Sides, Same Couch. We are a podcast where two best friends dig into conversations most people avoid. From identity to intimacy, insecurity to growth, we sit on opposite sides to show up at the same intention: honesty, curiosity, and connection. I'm Myron Mullen.
And I'm Maggie Murphy.
All right, Maggie, our topic for today is introvert versus extrovert. A very relatable topic because I am very much an introvert and
I'm very much extroverted.
Yes.
But it seems to work.
It does, somehow.
All right, so we wanted to first start by reading the definition of introvert and extrovert because I just think a lot of people have different definitions of what they think an introvert and extrovert is. So we're just going to root ourselves in what ChatGPT told me is the definition of an introvert versus an extrovert. So for an introvert, it says an introvert is someone who tends to feel more energized and comfortable spending time alone or in small, quiet settings rather than large, noisy groups. Introverts often prefer deep, meaningful conversations over small talk and may need alone time to recharge after social interactions. And Myron, what is an extrovert?
An extrovert is someone who feels energized and thrives in social situations, enjoys being around people. Extroverts are often outgoing, talkative, and comfortable in group settings. They usually gain energy from interactions and may seek out new social experiences.
Yeah, so I always thought it was like the energy piece, like where people get energy from, versus like introverts more get energy from them being alone and extroverts get energy from people. So I think and we can talk about this later, but I think there's like this common misconception that it also goes with like shyness and outgoingness, which I do feel like there's tendencies potentially.
Yeah, there's definitely overlap.
But I think one of the main things of the definition is the energy part. Okay, so also ChatGPT gave us some different ways that introverts and extroverts show up in the world. So we're just going to read them, and I'll read them for introverts, and Myron will agree to just or disagree based on if he, feels like this is how he is. So how introverts show up in the world. The first one, thoughtful and reflective. Introverts often process ideas internally before sharing, so they might take time to think deeply before speaking or acting. Myron, agree?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Selective socializers. They tend to prefer meaningful one-on-one or small group interactions over large gatherings.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Good listeners. Introverts often listen more than they speak, making others feel heard and understood.
For sure.
Private and reserved. They usually keep their feelings and thoughts more guarded, sharing selectively.
Yep.
Focused and independent, comfortable working alone or on focused tasks, often excelling in environments that allow quiet concentration.
Most definitely.
And recharge through solitude. After social events, they often need alone time to regain energy and balance.
Not even often need alone, definitely need alone time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so how do extroverts show up in the world? Outgoing and expressive. Extroverts are often talkative, enthusiastic, and energized by social interactions.
Yes, I agree with that.
Social connectors. They enjoy large group parties and meeting new people and often thrive in dynamic environments.
Okay, this one, I don't know if I necessarily agree because I feel like this is where shyness comes in for me. Like that type of environment makes me feel nervous.
Like what?
Like a large group, meeting new people. Like I'm going to feel anxious in that type of situation. Now, do I thrive? I think I do. Like, I think I do really well in that type of environment. Okay. But it doesn't mean that I do. Like, I'm nervous. Enjoy it. Yeah, I'm nervous.
Okay. That's interesting.
But I know how to function well.
Okay.
And sorry, going back to where yours says that prefers meaningful one-on-one small group interactions over a large gathering, I would more associate with that for myself. Like, I really love meaningful, like, quality time with one-on-one or small groups.
Okay. All right. Quick thinker and sharers. They tend to process ideas by talking them through and enjoying spontaneous conversations.
Yes. I think you know that I would say yes for that too. I'm definitely
very spontaneous conversation.
Well, yeah, and I'm also a very much I need to process out loud type of person. Mm-hmm. This is hilarious though because it also mentioned in the first one talkative, and I keep expanding on each one. Where I think when we read all of yours, you just said yes.
One word.
Okay.
Open and approachable. Extroverts usually wear their emotions on their sleeves and are more likely to share openly.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that would be me.
Collaborative and team-oriented. They often work well in groups and enjoy brainstorming with group problem solving.
Yes, I love this. I'm a big more brains are better than one brain person.
Recharge through socializing. Spending time with others energizes them and helps them to feel balanced.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I do need alone time though too.
Yeah.
I'm not immune to that.
Right.
Okay, so some questions, more questions we have for each other. So Myron, what are some strengths you think your introverted tendencies gives you?
What strengths do my introverted tendencies give me? Introspection, I would say, because I'm often in my own thoughts. I can process all the information that's readily available to me about whatever's going on in my life and come to a decent conclusion about things. Self-awareness, I would hope. Yeah, being self-aware. Well, I mean, and that's kind of the same thing with being introspective, like, because you're taking, I feel like introverts tend to take in as much information about wherever they are at any given moment. It's like they're just processing, almost like, data storage, processing that information. And they're not even like quick to want to tell people or say anything about what it is. But like when something may arise, they may have already foreseen it, to have happened, or, where other people might be surprised about or something, they'd be like, oh, I saw that coming a mile away. So yeah, it's like almost like a high version of like the intuition or, deductive reasoning, like Sherlock Holmes or something like that. Yeah, I feel like introverts tend to just be like, they have the 360 view of what's happening mentally and emotionally and physically, just because like that's just how their brains tend to work. But yeah.
And that's literally just because they're processing, you especially are processing things internally before sharing. Like there's just more space for internal. You're like collecting this data just more than an extrovert would.
I can't say if it's more than an extrovert. I just think because we're not, like, you can't pull and push at the same time. So I feel like if I'm not saying something or like pouring out, then naturally I'm receiving more, if that makes sense.
No, that does actually. That push-pull thing really helps me.
Yeah. So what are your strengths that you, and I mean, I feel like I feel like there's more strengths for an extrovert than there are an introvert, but it could just be a matter of perspective.
Yeah,
so,
I
but
think that's perspective.
what are the strengths you feel that you find from being an extrovert?
You might be saying that too, because I think extroverts potentially are more celebrated in our culture, or like maybe not more celebrated, but like there's more of an expectation that people be extroverted. I
mean, I get that's a whole other question. Would people rather be introverted or extroverted? Yeah. I think most people would lean towards extrovertedness.
Yeah. So answer the question. Strengths from my extroverted tendencies. I'm very people oriented, which I think is a beautiful thing. I really truly love people. And I don't know if this is all extroverted people are like this. I'm not really sure. People really do give me energy. I like being around people. I like talking to people. I love like getting to know people. And I think there's an element of connectedness that extroverts are able to do because of that. I think like that outgoing and expressiveness,
Yeah. There,
it says social connectors as one of, okay, I'm onto something. It does say that in one of the things that you asked me, social connectors. So yeah, I think that is a huge strength of mine. I think a strength of mine that I appreciate as an extrovert is my ability to like pull things out of introverts. Like I love that I can do that. Like to me, I meet a very like introverted person. I'm like, yes, like here we go. Like I'm just like ready and up for the challenge, respectfully.
Sure.
For real. I mean that respectfully. Like,
no.
Like, I just enjoy it. Like, just finding ways to bring an introvert out of their shell in a way that makes them feel comfortable, seen, all of those different things. So, yeah, I would say that's the biggest strength that I can articulate right now.
Okay.
So what are some common misconceptions people have about you, the introvert?
One of the obvious ones is just because we're not saying something doesn't mean that we don't have something to say. Because we're quiet, people can often assume that we might not be enjoying ourselves, or that like we don't want to, be there. If we're at a group activity or something like that, we don't often know how to show that we're having a good time. I think we're often just thinking about not so much how we look, or I don't know, we just don't know how to engage in the same way that extroverts like.
Do you think there's a level of, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
Nah, go ahead.
Do you think there's a level of like, because you're so in your head, I mean, I shouldn't say so in your head, like it's a bad thing.
That's accurate.
Well, because there's a lot of, like, I wonder if there's more self-consciousness, that there's more time for being self-conscious.
Definitely.
Because you're thinking more, there's just more room for things like that to develop, which could potentially have barriers for interacting with people. Could create barriers, the self-conscious piece.
So and I've told you this before, and the thing, like I'm blessed that I don't enjoy the taste of alcohol, because if I did, that would be a problem, because I like the way that the effects of alcohol makes me feel. Like, not like, I've never been like drunk or anything crazy, but just being like that slight buzz is enough to take down those introverted walls, and I can literally feel myself being how I wish I could normally be. So that's, it's the misconception of like, we don't want to engage in the same way that like, I don't want to say normal people, but like,
it's not
but the way that extroverts or just people who are more comfortable in social situations, like we do. And oftentimes we wish that we could, and not like every situation or scenario. There are definitely times where I'm like, very glad to be an introvert. But especially in like social situations, I feel like there are a lot of times where we want to engage, and it's just like, I feel like Ricky Bobby, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, but if that makes sense at all.
It does. And I will say that happens to me too, by the way, like, especially with alcohol, like I think just having a little bit of alcohol, it's like all those social dynamics that like make me nervous or uncomfortable. They just like, it goes away, So it's like, you're able to then interact potentially the way that you want to without feeling all those like weird social. So I feel an element of that too as an extrovert. So just pointing that out.
Just
like,
a bit. Okay.
So we both feel that. Like it's just probably different scales.
Okay, well, what are the misconceptions for introverts?
Extroverts?
Or extroverts.
Extroverts, me that extrovert. I think that one piece that I said about like the shyness.
That you do feel shyness.
Yeah, like I think I'm very shy in a sense. And like large groups make me nervous. Meeting new people make me nervous. But there's a part of it that I truly enjoy though, when I'm like able to get past those nervous feelings. And like I mentioned before, like I'm really good at that like type of situation. I just like, there's a lot of uncomfort feelings that I have to like push through to
initially get through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the difference is introverts I don't know if we just don't have the tool set to push past those initial things. Like the wall for us to push past,
it's thicker,
it's taller, it's yeah.
I think also like, and I mentioned this earlier when we were reading, but that piece about like, I really enjoy like deep, meaningful conversations, quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And then also I think a misconception is too that I don't need time alone to recharge. Like I really do. I need that as well.
Yeah.
I think like you mentioned, it's just the scale is a lot different.
Yeah.
And then I think there's also this piece of like, I wonder if people just want to put themselves in like, they're just wanting to put themselves in a box fully. And I wonder if it's not even a box, it's like a spectrum. Because like, you'll hear people say, I'm an extroverted introvert, or I'm an introverted extrovert. So it's like people, it's because it's like people don't see themselves fully in one box. Like people are feeling like just like I'm telling you, I'm finding pieces of both definitions where I feel like I can associate with. But at the end of the day, I would still call myself an extrovert.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that there is probably more of a spectrum than we give like credit to.
Yeah.
But I think on average, people do tend to lean more one way than the other.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay. So what's one thing you regret not doing because of your introverted nature?
Like specifically?
Or even like the weaknesses, because we talked about the strengths of an introvert.
Yeah.
And an extrovert. But like, if you don't have one thing you regret
I mean,
not doing.
I don't know if I have
it's
like a specific
a weakness.
I don't know if I have a specific
example
thing. I mean, there's probably just like too many things that I regret. Like, it's tough to even like really delve into it because I think the average, well, let me not even speak for the average introvert. I can only speak for myself. For myself, the war that goes on in my mind of who I, tell myself that I am versus like who I want to be, like that's a daily battle. There are times, especially in like social situations, where it's you may want to do things. You may like even see the opportunity to like, I don't know, it feels like, was it jump rope or whatever, when you're trying to,
double dutch.
Double dutch. Yeah. When you're trying to jump in there. And it's like, as an introvert, we can see like, okay, it's possible to get in there, but oftentimes fear paralysis. Like I don't even know if most people know, like I'm very high social anxiety, like talking, just like having a conversation with people, like even people who I've like known for years or whatever. I have anxiety just like having conversations with people.
Like you feel nervous before like if you know you're gonna go see them or whatever, you start feeling nervous.
It's one of the things, like I don't even really talk about it, so it's hard to fully put it into words. But just like, okay, oh man, okay, I'm gonna be real honest and transparent about something. Oftentimes, I'll not even say hi to people because even the idea of just like saying hi to someone makes me anxious. And I know for a fact, like people think that I'm just like rude or an a-hole, but like just the anxiety that I feel in the moment, even to be like, hey, what's up, man? Like I can't even get over that sometimes. Wow. And it'll be like people I know, but I just can't.
When and where does this happen?
Oh, that happens all the time.
I don't see you in situations where you're acting this way.
Because typically you see me in situations where I'm like around my family or people that I'm very comfortable with already. So it's not a thing. Yeah.
Like when we were at Shayla's book release, were you comfortable there? That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
And you knew a lot of people there.
I knew a lot of people there, but even people there, I was probably still uncomfortable around. Not even because of them. And it might have just been, I haven't seen you in a while or whatever like that. And just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's such like a foreign thing. And it's just been the way I've always been. But yeah, I don't even remember what the original question was.
It's hard for me to imagine you like this, even to think of other people thinking of you as an a-hole. Like that's just, I can't.
Oh no, I definitively know people who've like, especially when they first, and it's especially when like it's someone who's first meeting me, like I'm like rude or whatever, and it's until like that barrier's been broken, and then it's like, oh okay, we're cool. Yeah,
the only time I ever felt that about you, it was the story I told in the intro pod, which was that I tried to like ask Myron things about himself, aka Snapchat, and we were Snapchatting on the trip.
Yeah,
and he like really shut me down very quickly, and that goes with the privateness piece, like that you're private. So I think I was inserting a little bit into your privacy, but that's the only time I've ever thought of you in that way, or even seen you interacting with other people. I haven't even seen you act like in any sort of a-hole way, like, but also I'm laughing because, and this is why extroverts are good for introverts and vice versa, like this is why balance is important. And I think oftentimes extroverts find themselves being friends with introverts, and I mean, I'm friends with all types of people, but I will say, like, I don't even give you a choice not to say hi to me. like well, I don't think I've ever been, and I know you said you're comfortable with me, but I think also a personality type like mine, I don't like wait for people to say hi. I say hi, so it's like there's no, I don't know if that has to do with me being extroverted or me being friendly and outgoing.
That's you being extroverted for sure.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, so it's just funny to me to even think of you in a situation where you're not saying hi to someone.
Yeah. And it is, again, it's not like, oh, I've got like beef with this person or.
No, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, if you know me and I've like, if you've ever wondered, like, you feel like I'm giving you shade or whatever.
Cold shoulder.
Yeah, cold shoulder. It's literally got nothing to do with you. It's just, it's all in my head. And
do you get upset with yourself in those situations? Like, especially speaking about the question, which is like, what's something you regret? Like, are you experiencing like upset, shame, like upset with yourself that you're acting this way when these things happen?
Frustration, maybe. It's again, it's just one of those things I've dealt with so much in my life. And oddly enough, my mom would always talk about how, like, when I was younger, like much young, maybe elementary and younger, I was way more outgoing and talkative and stuff like that. And then at, whenever a certain point in time happened, I don't know, like I switched.
There's a switch, yeah.
Yeah. And she's always pushed me to be outgoing, like just forced me to be like, I've no choice. I'm, at piano recitals, vocal recitals,
Yeah.
I'm preaching, all of those things. And I'm very much grateful because I know how to be in front of people.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not comfortable in those situations, I'm not uncomfortable. I just know how to do it. And I'm grateful to be able to be in those situations and not, pass out from nervousness.
Yeah.
Which I imagine a lot of introverts, if they had to be in like public settings, do public speaking or any kind of performance of that nature, they would pass out.
It's so interesting that you bring that up because I think you are better than me at this. Like, you are better at like being the center of attention, like performing, getting up, like you're really good at that. And I am not. Like, that is something that makes me so uncomfortable. Like, I'm thinking about you. You're very comfortable singing karaoke in front of a bunch of people. I also remember like one year we had a Christmas party and people had to wear a bunch of ugly sweaters. And then we did like a runway walk of people wearing their ugly sweaters, and you crushed that. So it's like these, and then you preach like literally, and you're up there by yourself. So it's like you have this ability to do this thing that me as the extrovert, like that makes like, I have almost like performance anxiety when things like that happen. And I want to grow in that way. Like, I want to be able to comfortably sing karaoke and comfortably like do a catwalk with my ugly sweater, but so that's interesting. And once again, is this introvert extrovert, or is this like you said, your mom put you in settings early on where you had to learn how to essentially perform, and I really didn't have those. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
That might be something different though, because it has nothing to do with interacting with people. I mean, it is a little. You're performing.
I don't even fully know. I mean, I am isolated on stage, but even in a band setting, when you're playing with other musicians, I don't know. It could just be you're in an intimate setting in a very non-intimate, like, because you are isolated when you are on stage, even if it's just with a band or for, just you on stage, public speaking or anything like that. So it doesn't feel the same like if I was actually in the middle of like a group of people like having conversations.
It's so interesting to me. I mean, I guess one of them is when you're in a group setting, right? There is a level of intimacy that's there, right? Like the connection piece, intimacy, you're like talking one-on-one with people.
Yeah.
But like when you're up on stage preaching, you're not talking to one specific person. You're like talking to the masses. And so there's a difference in intimacy there. Yeah,
there's not as much.
There's not back and forth happening.
Well, yeah, okay. There's not back and forth happening, which, yeah, that actually might
be it.
I'm trying to figure out what the difference is. Like, is that a key factor, the back and forth?
Right, because even if I'm thinking about myself, I don't like those situations because of the social things that go on for me, or like the things you talked about being in your head, the things that go on in my head if I get up on stage and have to perform or talk or what's going on in my head is like, how is everyone perceiving me? Like I'm outward, I'm external, I'm with the people. I'm like, oh my gosh. I start like, it's just a lot. But when I'm in like a conversation, well, first of all, the pressure is a lot lower for me. And then there's a lot of like back and forth. So you're getting like feedback almost,
Okay, actually, no, that might be accurate because with conversations, and I can't speak for all extroverts, but I do feel like we think, not to say that we're playing chess or whatever, but we're not just thinking about what we're saying, we're thinking about what you're about to respond with what we say, and then what we're going to respond to what you respond. Like we're already at the end of the conversation before the conversation began. So that it's a lot of thought, and not to say that we're not being in the moment in those times, but for us, the idea of being in the moment is so expansive. It's creates just a ripple effect of like, okay, what am I saying? What are you going to say? How do I respond to that? Yeah, because we want to make ourselves clear. We want clarity, and oftentimes I feel like we can get lost in ourselves, like I am right now.
Well, we're not looking for answers, so we're getting somewhere. There's something here.
Yes,
we're getting to something. But okay.
So, what's one regret you have as being an extrovert?
I think recently I am like regretting my not like taking time to process things internally before acting or reacting or speaking. Like I want to be able to be more internal. Like sometimes I even feel like it's so opposite of you. Like I feel as though at times I have this block of being internal. Like I can't get anywhere just in my own mind whether it comes to problem solving or especially problem solving. I'm thinking a lot at work, especially because I'm in leadership. I have to a lot of the times do that thing that it talks about. What does it say? Like a verbal processor. I need someone to verbal process with in order to get to a conclusion. Right. And like a lot of the times I may not need any feedback from someone. I literally need to talk, which like I feel bad about that. But I tell people now and give them the heads up like, hey, I need to just like talk this out. Are you able to like listen? So at least they know like what I need and the expectation so they don't feel frustrated by me. They may still feel frustrated by me. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's one. Like I want to be able to be more internal. I want to be able to be able to internally process some things and not have to outwardly process. Yeah, be a little bit more thoughtful about things within my own mind versus needing other people.
Okay, that's interesting. When you were saying that, it reminded me of how like there are people who when they read books, they like visualize almost like it's a movie that they're watching as they're reading, and there are people who can't picture anything at all.
That's when
me. They're reading. Really?
Yeah. Okay. I struggle. I'm getting better. Okay.
So yeah, I'm definitely the former. Like I have an image of what the characters look like, cool. Like what the worlds look like. Especially the more descriptive the author is, it's like it's just coming to life. The whole thing visually inside my head, and maybe that has to do with just people who lean more towards introspection in their own life. Because like even you talking about like you need to talk at somebody to get those ideas out. Like I got my own mind to do that.
You know what's interesting though? Because I'm wondering if you do that with your own life and your own future. Like visualize things, like visualize what things could be possible for your future. Like the way you're visualizing.
Not as much as I should.
Right. And I remember from another pod you mentioning that, right? And I think you have a really cool skill that I believe is really powerful in terms of like just envisioning, what could be possible for you in your life. Just food for thought.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's just one thing I regret. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's the biggest one. Like I really, even I struggle with meditation. Like I really struggle. And it's something I want to be so much better at. Even like connecting with God. Like I want to be able to just, like a lot of the time, I journal all the time.
Yeah. And I don't.
I like need journaling because it helps me focus.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to just like pray in my mind, it's like it's really hard. It's so hard for me. it's like I have these blocks or something. Just like the social blocks you're feeling, which I feel some social blocks too. But what you're describing as like the social blocks of like interacting with humans, I feel like I feel that in my brain, in my own brain, with like in terms of interacting with myself. Yeah.
Very interesting.
And in turn, God, because of that. Like, you know, I talk to God all the time in here.
Yeah.
But it's like it's like it has to get out of me. Like I'm writing versus just having it be here.
Interesting. Okay. That's good insight. I did not know that.
I mean, and once again, I think they all connect to this topic.
Yeah.
I just am describing like what I'm experiencing, you know, and something for me, I really want to improve in meditation this year. So.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I don't find it difficult to meditate at all. I mean, just like finding stillness. I mean, well, I know you like to make fun of me for the missions trip when I would, have my quiet mornings and just sit in the chair and just eat my apple.
What's he doing?
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
But like I'm in my head having, conversations and thoughts and praying and, like I mean, maybe it might be helpful for me to journal too, but like every time I've tried to journal, I just find myself like the pen is too slow. Like my mind is naturally moving faster. So yeah, that's where I am.
You know what's funny? I know you'll find this hilarious. I actually love going on an airplane and then just literally sitting there and doing nothing.
Really?
Because I'm
flight.
thinking, I know, right? I, of course, have my books and things like that. I have options, but I love just thinking. Like, something about flying, like my phone is disconnected. Like I can't, I'm on airplane mode or whatever. So there's no one that can talk to me. No one's really talking on an airplane, but you're surrounded by people. I just like, there's something about it that I do my best thinking in situations like that. There's like that like buzz of or like the kind of like, it sounds like brown noise or gray noise
white
of
noise,
like, white noise of like the flight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love that. Like that is, I do really good with thinking in that type of environment.
When you're doing like your meditations, do you have like music on in the background or anything?
I'm trying. I need to probably do that. Sometimes I'll put my noise canceling headphones on, which helps. Okay. And put like some sort of frequency or brown noise. So that is definitely something I should do more.
Okay. Just
interesting things. Okay. So do you ever feel pressure to be more extroverted because of social expectations?
Because of social expectations. Well, like I said, my mother pushed me to be more extroverted when I was younger. It never really stuck. But again, like I said, there are skills and things I've taken away from those experiences. So it has helped. But like me being more extroverted, I mean, outside of me wishing that I wanted to be more extroverted, I don't know if I can say that I've found myself being too much pressured. I think I'm just me at this point in my life. So yeah.
Do you feel like there's a remedy?
For a cure for
maybe it's not cure
for the disease.
But it's like, what can you say you want to be more extroverted? I mean, do you believe it's possible? Do you think that there are things you could be doing to help yourself grow a little bit? Yeah, that's the question. Question mark.
I mean, I'm sure that there are, as to what those things are.
You haven't figured it out yet?
Either I haven't figured it out or I don't want to figure them out. Like,
why?
I wonder.
You say you want to be more extroverted.
I mean, again, there's the whole, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing of like who I am versus who I would like to be or perceive myself to be or all those things. But because like being an extrovert at times seems like a hassle.
Why?
I mean, I like, as much as I would like to, like, if there's a stat bar, like bump up my extrovertedness by a few stats, I would like to do that, but not like.
I mean, there's downsides to even being me. like a really extrovert, right? Like I get tired. Like it's tiring. And I think
and also people expect you're extrovert.
They expect it. I've taught everyone this is how I am.
Yeah.
And so now I go into situations.
And like when you're drained, people are like, what's going on?
Yes. I'm like, I just don't. And I think, even the other day you and I were driving in the car and you put on music and I was like, it was kind of random and your timing. And I was like, why is he putting on music? And I think I asked you like, oh, did you not want to talk about what we were talking about or something like that? I asked you something and then you said, no, I just wanted to put music on because I wanted to make it easier for you to like, just not say anything. And that's so true for me. Like, I think I feel the need to fill silence. And it's a little bit like, that's almost like the expectation I've created for myself. Other people have it of me as well. Yeah. I have it of myself. And I feel awkward too. Like, but I want it. Like, I'm tired. Like, sometimes I just want to sit there, and that would be okay.
You want to sit there, but you feel like I can't.
No, it doesn't feel okay. Always.
Yeah. We're just like when me and Wadi were driving to Outer Banks, 5-hour trip, and we maybe had 20 minutes of conversation. But that's what happens when you have like two introverts in a car. And it wasn't at all, well, no, it wasn't. I could even say it for him. It wasn't at all awkward or like someone needs to say something. Like we were chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need that in my life. 5 hours is a long time. But like, balance. Like you said, you don't want to be a full extrovert.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a full
introvert. Yeah.
But I asked you that question because like there are things and ways I want to move towards more introverted, right? And so I'm trying to find ways to practice that and grow. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I asked you that, because if there's a desire for you to want to be a little bit more extroverted, especially when it comes to like, social situations, I believe there's like things that you could practice or work on to see change in that way. Just a few notches.
Yeah.
Nudging the notch up just a little.
Oftentimes I feel like I need a script on how to
Hey, that's a good idea though. Talk. What if you like, that sounds silly. Okay, can I give you an example?
Do it.
When we were I'm a teacher. I was a teacher. I'm still in schools. Now I'm not teaching anymore. But when I did the teaching program, Teach for America, and you have to do like teacher boot camp. Essentially, that's not what it's called, but that's what it was it felt like. But one of the things that they have us do a lot in education, and especially in that training type program that I was in, is like literally practicing like how you're going to act in front of the kids. And adults are sitting with us pretending to be the children.
Yeah.
And it feels so weird and awkward, and everybody opens up with, this is going to be weird, but I promise if you do it, it'll really help.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for a lot of things. Like I've even heard of, there's been a lot of situations in my life where I didn't like how I handled something socially. And so then someone gave me the idea, I forget who it was, but to like literally journal about what I wish I did differently or what I wish I said differently. Mm-hmm. So that way, if I'm ever in a situation again, I'm like prepared or have practiced the script of what I would want to say. So it sounds weird, but like, I think that's a good idea of having a script.
Yeah. I probably do need like a
let's see if he does it, folks.
Beginner's guide to conversations with people. Yeah.
You're really good at conversation. It's just there's some barriers. Okay, so then you got to ask me the same question.
Oh yes. Okay, so how do you feel pressured to be a extrovert in social situations, which you kind of already touched on a little bit?
Oh yeah, I did. I will say also there are times where. And I don't know if this has anything to do with extrovertedness or just like me growing into the person that I am and being okay with who I am too. And I think one thing of my personality that is really strong, but also can be a weakness is like, I will go into a space and I'm like kind of taking in everything around me and kind of then deciding which like version of me I'm going to present in this space. So for example, if I go into a space where I like notice there's a lot of introverts sitting in the room, like I will kind of like
tone it down.
Yeah. Out of respect, it's like, man, but at the same time, I think there's an element of that is good. Mm-hmm. But then I think that sometimes it can be just go too far, and potentially my focus is in the wrong place. Like my focus should be more on just being who God created me to be, because I think like this whole conversation and even our friendship, the way I am extroverted is very helpful for you, the introvert, and vice versa.
Right.
You, the introvert, is helpful for me as the extrovert. So it's like, instead of me trying to like match myself to the situation. Maybe I just need to focus on me being me. So I'm not really sure, but I've definitely thought to myself, am I too much for this setting? Like, am I too loud? Do I have too many questions? You know how I am. I ask like a million questions. Am I talking too much? Which, like, that's something that's important that I'm aware of, because I think there's an importance to have equity of voices and spaces, and not have like a dominant person talking just because they're really comfortable talking and sharing. So it's like a balance, right?
For sure.
So I don't know. I don't know if that has anything to do with extroversion or just, God kind of growing me and just being comfortable being who I am.
Okay. Well, I like it though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Man. Well, that was, I feel like I learned a lot.
Did you?
Actually, yes. Yeah. You brought up, especially like some of the misconceptions about your experience with being an extrovert.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's certain things that I knew already, but your experience, especially like with you journaling and stuff like that was insightful.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I'm curious as to how other people might relate to our experiences. Yeah, am I just a crazy person by myself, which I probably am. But does anyone else deal with, I don't know, anxiety or just...
severe introversion?
Severe introversion. That's the clinical term for it. But yes, as we are always aiming to have deeper conversations, no answers, no perfection, just two sides, same couch, one conversation at a time. And thank you for joining us. Try to check us out on our socials. What are we? Two Sides Same Couch on Instagram and TikTok, also on YouTube. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.